This is Humans on the Road, where I interview people on the intricate parts of their lives. So, welcome to Humans on the Road. We have Tommy in today on the podcast. So, tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you live now.
Yeah, so I was born and raised here in Salt Lake, right up the street from here.
Okay.
Lived here all my life, trying to get out of here a bit more.
Okay. Where did you go to college?
So I went to college at Salt Lake Community College.
Okay.
Started out doing non-destructive testing for aerospace.
Sweet.
So right now I do ultrasounds for airplane parts.
Whoa. Okay.
Started doing that right out of high school. And recently decided that I needed a bit of a change.
Okay.
So I went back to school again.
Okay.
So now I'm going to UVU for firefighting.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So I start Fire Academy here in 6 weeks.
That's awesome. Okay.
Super stoked for that.
Would you rather stay here and firefight, or are you gonna try to get out and firefight?
And that's kind of why I wanted to do that.
Okay.
Is then I have
So what are some of your hobbies? I know you have a bike.
bunch of hobbies. Yeah, my bike. I've started getting into moto traveling.
Oh, okay.
So I've had a couple of bikes. I've been riding for about 2.5 years. And the more I've done it, the more I'm like, I want to go places, specifically on a bike.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's just kind of a different way to get around. You get to experience places a little differently.
Yeah, that is really interesting. So what is your setup on the bike when you travel?
So I've
How do you carry all
got,
your stuff?
so I've got 2 hard panniers on the sides. That carries most everything. I'd like to get a third top box.
Okay.
But
What does that mean? Where does that go?
So behind the passenger seat, the
Okay,
third box
okay.
up top, you see all
Gotcha.
other stuff.
Okay.
So I'd like to get one of those because then I have a better spot for my helmet.
Okay.
That's been kind of a pain. Don't
Okay.
have anywhere to keep that.
True.
And then just extra storage.
Okay. Do you have one of those little locks that goes under your seat that you can chain your helmet to?
I had on my last bike.
Okay.
This one I actually just have just a little loop lock that I've been using.
Okay,
That
yeah.
works pretty well.
Okay. But just kind of dangling, which isn't
Yeah.
that great.
And I've only gotten to do a couple of trips on it so far.
Okay.
So the week after I bought that bike,
Okay.
I took it on a 1,500-mile road trip
Ooh,
through Colorado.
fun. Oh, sweet. Where in Colorado did you go?
So I went to Montrose to go check out Black Canyon.
Yeah, that's a sweet spot.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of the darkest national parks in the country. Yeah.
Super cool.
Very cool.
And then we went down to Ouray to check out some waterfalls down there,
Okay, yeah.
and then circled back around up to
did you
Steamboat.
go down to Blue Lakes?
We didn't go down that far. We were only there
That's
for
pretty
a morning,
Okay.
but absolutely going back
Yeah,
for
that's
a
somewhere you have
trip
to go.
all its own.
That's one of my favorite hikes.
Incredible.
Between that and then the Tetons, which is where I'm going this weekend. So
I'm super stoked for the Tetons.
yeah, it's gonna be super cool. Are you going too?
Yes.
Oh, let's go.
Yes,
Are
I will
you
be there.
traveling on your bike?
I will be there on
Let's
the bike.
go.
Yeah. Last weekend was kind of a test run.
Okay.
For camping with that bike.
Yeah. What's your gear setup? Do you hammock, tent?
Yeah, so last week I hammocked,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to fit everything. Still
Yeah,
trying to figure
yeah,
that out.
yeah. It's a puzzle.
I've realized I have to think like I'm backpacking
Yeah, very true.
in terms of what space I have available.
Yeah.
But I don't have the same kind of weight restriction, just the
Yeah,
size
that is true.
limitation.
Yeah, which is almost tougher in some ways.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, because at least a backpack, you just strap it onto the outside.
Onto the
It doesn't
outside.
Fit, yeah.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I'm getting more to being able to do that.
Okay.
It's just I don't have the right straps for kind of doing that thing.
True, yeah. Do you follow Mike? Oh shoot, Mike Barr, I think his last name is. He's in Outsiders and he travels on his bike. He goes up to he went up to Alaska, I think, recently.
That's awesome.
So you should check out his motorcycle setup because he's been doing it for a
Yeah.
couple months now.
Yeah,
with
there's a couple
everything on it.
of travelers that I follow. Itchy Boots.
Okay.
She is
Oh, it's a girl who lives on a bike? Let's go.
so she's from the Netherlands.
Okay.
Traveled the world on bikes solo.
Okay.
She's currently gone from central of South America, and she's on her way up to Alaska.
Wow, that's awesome.
She's in
I wanna do
Mexico
that
right
in the
now.
van, but from SoCal down to Mexico,
Yeah.
the tip of.
Yeah, go down to
super
Baja.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. Okay, well then, I guess, did you ever really travel in a car or how did
yeah,
you
so
transition into motorcycle?
I did a lot of camping with my truck.
Okay.
I've got a Tahoe that I used that I still have. I love that thing.
Okay.
But I kind of want to do something different.
Yeah. Get the fresh air on your face all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's super funny. All right, well, what's one of your favorite or least favorite spots you've ever been, and why?
Ooh, favorite spot. The area around Steamboat, I adore that whole
Okay.
area, the mountains
Yeah.
around there.
I need to get up there actually during the summer. I've only been up there to like ride during the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, the summer season's a lot of fun. They do a lot of rodeos up there,
Ooh,
tons of
okay.
trails up
I
there.
wonder if they'll have one when I go to Colorado next week or two.
I'm sure they will.
That'd
They
be
do.
sweet.
I think in Steamboat they do them basically every weekend.
Oh, let's go. That'd
Yeah.
be super cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
super fun. And then there was on the ride to Steamboat from Montrose, we passed up and over some mountain pass. I need to find what it's called,
Okay.
but it was hands down the most breathtaking road I have ever been
Where's it
on.
at? Where about?
Just west of Ouray. There's a reservoir up in there somewhere. It's the biggest reservoir in Colorado.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I don't
I'm
know.
not sure what it's called,
Yeah,
but
I don't know. We'd have to look it up.
the change in scenery, it was like mossy grasslands to
Ooh.
like Black Rock Mountains to Pine Forest
love
to
that.
Red Rock
Yeah.
Mountains, all within the span of like an hour.
Oh, that's super
It was
cool.
incredible.
Yeah, it's always crazy when it changes so quickly like that. Do you have like your wildest travel story or like something along like just
Wildest
a travel
travel
story, I guess? Funny, wild, something. I should have given you
I don't know that. To go back to that trip again, first trip on that bike, first trip on a bike like that.
Yeah,
period.
yeah.
Left early in the morning, about 5 a.m. by myself in the
gosh.
pouring rain. So have just bought this bike, never
Jeez.
done this before,
Yeah.
and I'm like, we're just gonna go all in on
Full
this.
send.
And it was so much fun. It
Yeah.
got down to like 28 degrees going over the
Oh,
mountains. It was real cold.
In the rain too. Ooh,
In the
that's-
rain.
That's frigid.
By myself in the middle of nowhere, and
Oh
it was
my gosh.
amazing, and I can't wait to do it again.
That's so crazy. That sounds like a blast. It's definitely you're gonna remember that trip for a while.
Mm-hmm.
What's a bucket list spot you have that you want to visit?
Bucket list spot right now:
By plane or by bike, whatever.
Redwoods
Okay.
and Iceland.
Ooh, okay.
Definitely got to get out there. That's
Yeah, Iceland is beautiful.
I think that's going to be my graduation trip.
Okay.
Is
There you
Iceland.
go. When is graduation?
Hopefully a year and a half.
Okay. Cool. Very awesome. All right. So along the lines of Outsiders, how long have you been a part of Outsiders, and how did you hear about it?
So I've been a part of Outsiders since relatively the early days. Early days in that I think I joined the group around when the Facebook group was around 3,000 or so people.
Okay. Wow, that's been a while.
I wasn't super active.
Okay.
Just because stuff was still kind of getting off the ground. There wasn't a huge group here in Salt Lake that was like active at the time.
Would you say it's gotten more active?
Definitely.
Now? Okay.
There's been a couple of meetups that I haven't been able to get to, but
Okay.
I've loved to see like people
Yeah,
setting
that's
stuff
awesome.
up,
Yeah.
actually going and doing things. I know there's been some in Salt Lake. I know they've done a couple of meetups in Provo.
Okay.
Plus
Good
the
to
trip
know.
that we just went
'Cause I know
on.
there's someone that was looking for more events in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
So we'll have to point them out to him.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Well, how many events have you been to since you're now active in the group?
So far, just the one, the camping trip before the Tetons trip.
Okay. Yeah.
This has been the one that I've been able to make it
Okay.
to, but I'm super looking forward to getting to more.
Yeah.
And I know as we plan more trips, be able to get to more of
Yeah,
them.
for sure. And the more you meet people in this area too, like you just do like casual
Plan more
ones,
stuff,
like
yeah, definitely.
breweries and whatever else. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, do you have a favorite? But you've only been to one, so
Yeah.
probably your favorite so far.
Although I think Tetons is gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be so
It's
much
gonna
chaos.
be
It's like
crazy.
70 people.
Yeah.
I'm hella extroverted. I'm like, that sounds
That's a lot of
like a lot of people. Yeah, it's gonna be fun though. I think a lot of people are gonna dip off like into yoga, hiking, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it'd be pretty cool. Okay, so how has this group changed you, if it has?
It's got me a lot more excited to be outside more.
Oh, awesome.
I've spent the last 5 years working in a warehouse,
Yeah.
and that's been kind of hard. Like I hadn't realized the toll it had taken just being inside
yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
I graduated, and then I've just worked, and I'm like, I need to be outside more. I need to find more people to be outside with.
Yeah,
and
that's
so this
awesome.
group's been awesome for that.
Yeah, I mean that's like literally what we want.
It's the whole point, yeah.
Like finding people and getting outside.
Yep.
It's like literally the whole deal of it. All right, so then going into dating, since this is a singles and solos group.
Yep.
What is your love language, and what does that look like for you?
My two main ones, quality time and physical touch.
Okay.
Those are huge for sure.
What does your quality time look like? Oh,
A lot of it has been, getting outside,
Okay.
doing stuff with people.
Awesome. Yeah.
I am a huge moviegoer. I love going to the movie
Okay.
theater. I love
Okay.
going to the movie theater with people.
Interesting. Okay. I'm like the complete opposite. Like my quality time is like if it's like in front of a movie, I'm out. I'm
live music, huge concert goer,
Yeah.
like going to events,
There you go,
going to see like theater shows, just getting out and doing stuff with people.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also that time with somebody else, just like hanging out, getting to know somebody, spending like time with someone else.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Yeah. So are you single?
Right now, yes.
Right now, okay.
I've been single for about 2 years.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sweet. Are you open to dating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, finally getting back to where I'm like ready for that.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you're on that journey forward. What are you looking for in a partner?
Somebody who is driven and knows who they are.
Okay, I like that. That's good.
Because that's kind of what I've spent the last 2 years doing myself. I came from a string of pretty seriously codependent relationships.
Okay.
Kind of had some friends call me out after this last one, and I started on a journey to find myself.
Yeah.
Started going to therapy, started trying to like figure it all out, because I realized I had never done that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Proud of you. Good
Thanks.
job.
It's been a lot of work.
If you were to title this chapter of your life, what would it be?
Expansion.
Okay. Why?
Getting out, trying new things, meet new people, try and break out of the shell that I've lived in for too long.
Okay. Do you think that like Salt Lake City, growing up here, has been kind of that shell? I guess because it's, I don't know. I think a tougher place to live for some people.
It's definitely been hard. I did grow up in the church.
Okay. That was my next question.
Yep. That's what everyone here asks. Was in pretty deep till I was about 14.
Okay.
And then just have slowly fallen out completely at this point.
Okay.
With no plans of going back. I have no thank you.
It has a big Greek coffee.
Yep, right. The culture is just not my thing, and everyone's like, oh, it's not. It's it's the people, not what it is, and I'm like, if you look at it a bit closer, though, it really kind of is.
Okay, interesting. That's a good perspective. I've been learning a lot about that religion, like being in Salt Lake City, because I guess like from like LA, there's like such a mixing pot that you don't really ever focus on like one religion specifically, but like being here, like certain places are closed on Sundays, or certain places like
most places.
Yeah, like really though, and
really
like,
annoying.
Yeah, and then just like the different like alcohol sales and everything is just so wild. Cause
Yeah,
it's like where I'm from, you could like literally just walk in anywhere and get a handle if you wanted.
Yeah,
it's just kind of interesting.
Not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very pervasive, and I've heard a lot that like the LDS Church in Utah is very different than like the rest of the world.
Yeah, I could see that.
But even still, I don't think it'd be that big of a difference to like want to go back to that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a big life shift and the big change in how I see everything.
Interesting. Okay. Your next question was, girls love guys with bikes, so what is your type, the top physical and personality traits you look for?
Oh, there's a lot in that question. Let's see. Read it again.
Okay, I said girls love guys with bikes, so what is your type, like your top physical and personality traits you look for?
Oh, oh man, I don't know. Like,
it is kind of hard to describe because it kind of differs person to person, I guess.
It does, and like, I'm not one to like I know I definitely have a type. But it's one of those things that's kind of hard to describe.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, outdoorsy, athletic, kind of nerdy.
Okay.
I'm a huge nerd. I'm a giant gym rat.
Okay.
And so, I like to be able to share those things, but like, that's not like, we don't need to be like samesies. It's nice to have, it's nice to have somebody that like has their own interests and like,
but enjoys like some of the same things.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay. Like personality traits, what do you?
Funny, extroverted.
Okay.
Which is funny because I'm a bit more introverted.
Okay. So it's kind of nice to have that balance.
It is. It kind of draws me out of myself a bit, and I enjoy that. I like that side of myself.
Sometimes you just need that little push.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Good job. If you were to meet the one through Outsiders, I guess you already said you wanted to leave SLC, so like this is kind of, I was gonna say, if you met the one through Outsiders, would you be up to like leaving Salt Lake? But
I think so.
Yeah, you were like, get me out of here already.
Yeah, I mean, like I love it here. Like geographically, it's so close to so many things. You can get out in nature so quick.
So close to the mountains. Like we went up to Alta just for the sunset last night. It was super pretty.
live at the mouth of Parley's Canyon.
Oh, okay.
Like 20 minutes and I'm in Park City.
Oh, sweet.
It's
that's
amazing.
super close. Is that like, do you ski or snowboard or?
Embarrassingly enough, no.
Oh, okay.
I need to.
Yeah. It's so funny because Lindy doesn't either, and Lindy lives like in Salt Lake City too.
Right.
And I was like, you're so close to like literally some of the best mountains. It's so crazy.
I know. I need to get more friends that ski to like teach me. Like, yeah, I could go and find figure it out myself, but like it's kind of more fun to go with people that I already know.
Well, hopefully someone in Outsiders can help you teach.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm sure there'll be tons of trips come the winter.
True.
What's your opinion on dating apps? Do you have any?
They're frustrating.
Okay.
Yes, I do have. I have Bumble now, and I had Hinge. I deleted it because the algorithm just full gave up because I like got off of it for a while.
Okay.
So I might give it another chance.
Okay.
My biggest frustration is like it seems like people are scared of each other.
How so?
Like you try and get a conversation going with somebody, and you can only continue it on like online for so long before you're like, I want to meet this person and like to actually have a conversation with them.
Which I actually discovered like from my own personal experience on dating apps here in Salt Lake City has been like no one's down to meet up. Like I'm just like trying to make friends and like go get beers. And,
exactly.
Like, everyone's like, and then you stop responding. Like,
and maybe that's just a Salt Lake thing.
I think it might be because like I don't really have that issue anywhere. Like I run a dating podcast based off of people I meet on Bumble.
Right.
And so it's like kind of fun. I meet people like all over the country that are just like down to hang out or like go hike.
Well, exactly. It's like I don't know if I want to date you yet. I've never met you. You're a stranger.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is really interesting. All right, so some questions from the fans. Can I ride the bike? Do you like passengers on your bike?
Can you ride it? No. Will I take you for a ride? Definitely.
There you go. Where's your favorite spot around here to take your bike? Like up the canyon or?
Yeah, Big Cottonwood Canyon is great.
Okay.
If you cannot get stuck behind traffic. People go up Big Cottonwood so slow. That's
true. And then you're just like...
And there's only a couple of spots to pass. But if you can get a clean run up the canyon... glorious. You go all the way up over Guardsman, back down the other side into Park City. Beautiful.
And my last question was, do you own a car? But you already said that you own a Tahoe, right?
Yeah, so I've got an older Chevy Tahoe, but I've got a whole bunch of off-road stuff done too. So that's kind of my off-road vehicle.
Okay. Where's your favorite place to take that? If you go off-roading, where's your favorite off-roading spot?
My favorite place I've taken it, I took it on a trip in May down to Cathedral Valley in central Utah, and spent 3 days just thrashing it so much up until I broke it.
Oh no!
Got a little stuck. Had to get pulled out. Have a great picture. One of my favorites. My buddy in his Super Duty, his Ford, had to come rescue my Chevy.
You'll have to send me it. I'll put it up on the screen.
Absolutely, because I love feeding the rivalry. I think it's fun. My dad, my dad's a big Ford guy. I have Chevys. Yeah. My family's driven Chevys for a long time.
I was going to say, are you so since you're a Chevy, would you be, since you're from like a outsider perspective, would you be more of a Ford or like Toyota Tacoma fan?
Ooh.
If you were to get like a different kind of car.
If I were to get something different, the new Bronco is...
Ooh, yeah.
I almost bought one. Sometimes I regret not buying one, but like the Tahoe's so similar on paper to a Bronco. Which I thought was really interesting.
I guess once you get if you get an off-roading package, then you have like more of those capabilities.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't think about it. They just think about it like towing kids to soccer and stuff.
I know the Tacomas are wickedly popular. I think they're cool. I also feel like they're a little overrated.
Okay.
Of the Toyotas, I'm a bit more of like a Land Cruiser guy myself.
Okay.
I like the big SUVs.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say not much of a truck and more of the SUV. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Like, I just like being able to put all of my stuff inside, and then I can sleep in the back if I need to. I've done that. Super easy.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a battle in this group. Is one person has a Ford Raptor and the other one has a Toyota Tacoma, and like there's a like a cult in the Outsiders of just Toyota Tacomas. Like,
Yes.
they're so into their trucks. It's so crazy.
Yes, they worship at the feet of their trucks.
Yeah, it is really funny.
And they're kind of two different tools for two different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is for sure. I guess if you, depending on your need, it's definitely different. All right, well, that's all the questions I have for you.
Right on.
Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, of course. This is Humans on the Road. Stay tuned. We'll be posting next week.